Who is God in your life? I have to tell you that as a young person, God was a reality of great fear. He was a God who was avenging. He was a God who was a lawgiver. When I read in the Bible, I would find that God would command, for example, Saul to go out and slaughter a town of every man, woman, child, and even infant. That scared me to death. And I was concerned about the laws that he gave, and I wanted to be on God's side. But it seemed that God was more concerned about putting me into hell than he was in getting me into heaven. And then there was the God that seemed to forget about the hurting people, the children that are crying out, the ones that have cancer, the innocent people that suffer. Well, where was God? Then one time, I was struggling with the concept also of God as being all-knowing. God knew everything, and I was teaching in a high school, and I tried to share that with this awe of a God of vengeance and lawfulness, but also all-knowing, and so we kind of ran away from God. And then after class, one of the students asked me, what does that mean, that God is all-knowing? And his question was really haunting, because he said, isn't it true that we don't like a know-it-all? When he said that, I was really shocked. I said something in answer that I think was probably some trite answer that you're always supposed to give. But I started thinking about that. If God is a know-it-all, then I really can't have a personal relationship with God. God is someone who is asking me to pray, but he knows all the answers already. And I started to wrestle with my concept of God, along with believing in this avenging and this law-giving God, because I could find it in the Bible. I also found a God who, when Moses came to ask him, what's your name? He said, I am. Not I will be or I was, but I am. God is now. And then I started to understand, through the power of Jesus, the love that God has, the tender care that says, when you pray, pray our Father. Whatever's going on in your life, if God is perhaps one of avenging power, God who doesn't really care, listen to my experience, if you will, of a God who enters in and has loved me personally. And I've experienced God not as distant, not afraid, but a God who actually wants to come and live in me and be with me. May you experience that intimacy. May you experience that empowerment in your life to allow you to find the peace and the freedom from fear, which is the call, the true call of God in our life.